We're continuing our walk through the Ribera neighborhood of Barcelona with our local guide Sandra Benzal, who's bringing us first to a nut shop and then along a main pedestrian lane, Carrer de Montcada, and passing the Picasso Museum, one of the very nice pedestrian zones in Barcelona. Part of our series, Walking Through Barcelona with Sandra.
I wanted to show you, this is a really nice, enchanting shop. Casa Gispert was opened in 1851 by two brothers. They used to import overseas products from America, from the Spanish colonies, like cocoa, like tea, nuts. Well, still they have this little shop that they sell all kinds of hazelnuts, almonds, walnuts, olive oil, jams, coffee. They have an old oven that they toast always still nowadays the almonds, for example, hazelnuts, and you can take them home. We have a quick look and go out. It's really pretty, the shop.
In our modern retail world where all the shops look alike and they're big chain stores, it's a refreshing break to step back into an old-fashioned shop like this.
Actually, it's 160 years old, this wood fire oven. Still working, eh? This is not something very common, eh? It's not something you find in a lot of shops in Barcelona. This is the oven they use to toast the nuts. She's gonna show you how it works. And they put there the wood, and then a cylinder inside. You're gonna see how it works. And inside that cylinder there are the nuts, almonds or hazelnuts or chestnuts. The fire doesn't touch really the nuts, only comes the smoke. So that's why they have a little smoking taste, flavor. The only existing oven, wood fire oven, is still in Europe. The only one remaining is still in use in Europe. Casa Gispert.
They've got several varieties of roasted nuts, including the almonds especially, and macadamia nuts. They've got cashew, pistachio, and they've got hazelnut. These are all roasted in that wood-fired oven with no salt. You can purchase them freshly roasted right out of these bins, or you can get a package to take away and eat later. Either way, they're going to be delicious. The shop sells a variety of other food products, including dried fruits, oils, vinegars, herbs and spices, coffee and tea, and they even have a wine cellar, and they sell chocolates as well. It's easy to find right next to the large church of Santa Maria del Mar. And then we continue on to Carrer de Montcada.
We're still in this quarter called La Ribera, and now we are in front of one alley, a little street called Montcada. Montcada was the family name of one well-known family of traders that lived there in the 14th century, and that is still standing their house. Now when we enter, we're going to see there are all nice gates of 14th century houses, one built next to the other, where different families lived in the past. Normally these houses have, in the ground floor, they have a nice patio, and in the ground floor is where normally these families, when living there, they will have the storing room for the wine, the olive oil, the cereals. Also in this ground floor they had the kitchen, they had the stables for the animals. Then in the first floor is where the family lived, had their private rooms, and in the second floor is where the service people lived, the maids. Now we will walk through and you will see it. 5 of these houses are hosting nowadays the Picasso Museum of Barcelona. Picasso lived in Barcelona when he was young. Pablo Ruiz Picasso was a Spanish painter who was born in Malaga, which is a city in the southeast of Spain, about 500 miles away from here. But when he was 14 years old, his family moved to Barcelona. His father was a drawing teacher, and he was teaching drawing in the School of Fine Arts of Barcelona. So that was the first contact of Picasso with us. And here he really loved the city because it was much bigger than Malaga, where he came from. And he was a young observer always of the society. And in this museum, you see a lot of drawings and paintings that he made when he's 14, 15, 16 years old, really young, teenager. But he has a gift to paint and draw. And he catch up the faces of the people he sees in Barcelona, sailors, prostitutes as well, drunkards on the street, but also elegant families going to the opera theater, or maybe a priest walking on the street. This is already the Picasso Museum. We are walking along these houses. There were 5 houses linked today. Here he also went to the School of Art to learn the technique, but also really was born with a gift. No? And this museum shows you a lot of this young period of Picasso. I mean, he was 14 and 20 years old, which you don't tend to find anywhere else in the world, because this was a donation. These paintings are a donation made by Picasso to the city of Barcelona, and also made by a friend of his that also was his personal secretary. Since 1963, the museum is open.